All right, and hello and welcome back, everybody. This is David with Fairmare's Rangers. We're bringing you game 3 of our trial run on this tournament to see if we can get it going. This is a 4v4 on the Finland map, and you can see here I'm going to be playing as Russia, and our team is obviously going to be Russia, and we're going to be facing off versus USA. Good old bear versus eagle matchup. In the previous two matchups, Russia took the first one, and the Americans took the second match. So we're going to see how the third match is going to turn out here. As you see, I'm making my advance into the center position, and my opponent is coming straight out at me. Excuse me. Now, it looks like the other player that lines up in the back, that usually one of these players will go to the hill to face my ally, is actually coming in behind the front player, so they're both going to come after me. So this is going to make it pretty interesting, as I am going to have, and I'm going to initiate this fight myself. As you can see here, my rifleman coming up in the center. My goal is to take this set of woodlands here and push back their cav and see if I can get some good shots in on their light infantry, which would be the Morgans here, cutting along this line, and their long rifles here. So we'll see which ones I can get into as we push forward. My two allies on the bottom are pushing up, and the two opponents are pushing up as well versus them. So that fight should commence there as well. My ally on the flank is coming over the top of the hill, so we'll see what assistance he provides. And you can see I have taken a little bit of damage from the Morgans, which is understandable. And you can see here I'm going to be pushing up with both my lights, and I get a pretty good shot on this Minuteman, take him down to 82. It causes a little bit of damage behind. And now I'm going to be setting up with my line. Here is my ally. He's got two Cossacks up. And I got a shot with my light dragoons on the Morgan. Took him down to 43. And here goes my first, the Cossack gets the first volley. I'm going to roll over top with my lines and my light dragoons. My light dragoons should get shot in here. Or no, this is my ally's light dragoons. I'm sorry about that. As he gets a shot in here and gets a nice little shot on those Minutemen. I'm going to move my light infantry into this gap and see if we can get some good shots in on these units here in the center. As you can see, my line came up. We got the Morgan down to 31. My light dragoons now knocking them down to 19. So that's pretty nice. I have taken some good damage on that line infantry, but it was worth it. And you can see here the other player is going to be coming up, reinforcing the flank where my ally is reinforcing me. Most of my allies' units are holding up the air. I hate to say that like that, but it's true. Alright, the battle's about to start here on the bottom. So I'm going to kind of flip the camera so you can see kind of what's happening on the top as well. And not a whole lot is happening on this flank yet. Still pretty quiet, although he lost quite a bit of this guard cheval. It's an expensive lesson to learn. This USA player is going to be bringing his longs to hit all these nice juicy guards, it looks like. And yeah, that won't go well. Alright, this fight is pretty hot and heavy here. As you can see, my ally has lost the Cossack. I'm going to be pushing in some more lines. Now I meant to roll back these other two lines, but I didn't micro that very well. And I'm going to be pushing up. I'm going to be trying to take down the second New York, whittle him down. That Morgan has still got 18 men in it, but that's not much. So my least populated unit here is taking the volleys from the New York, which is good because that means my two lines are going to get volleys on this New York, and we'll be able to chop him down. All right, so we'll route off the Delaware, and we got the New York now in the 80s. Is that the third rank that fired? Yeah, so 3 ranks. We got him down to 80, so we took down 40. I'm going to replace this depleted line with the fresh one. Send him in melee. He takes all the volleys from all these guys while he does it. And now I can start working down this Minutemen here. Again, I got this gap right here where my lights can shoot through. So I can hit this Minutemen, and then I also hit the long rifle as well. And you can see here there is a little bit of action here on the top. And that guard cheval has gotten routed out. Doesn't look like he did much of anything. Still nothing happening on the bottom. Like I said, all the action's happening up here at the top. And it is fast and furious. Alright, the back player is now going to reinforce with the Maryland and another Delaware. I think the other Delaware that the other ally had is routed. We got the other Maryland from the first player that we started fighting has come in. And yeah, the top is going in our favor pretty heavily. So we should be able to wrap these guys up. We have caused significant damage to them. And I've got my guards up now. And this is just going to unleash hell upon them. And they are really starting to thin out here. I mean, I am pretty thin here. I've got pretty thin line infantry here. But I am working some of the lines that were opposing here with my rifles. Here comes another line infantry. And I am working down. One guard is working on the Delaware. One's working on the line infantry. So we'll see how this goes. Now they do try to push a cav through here. As you can see, I have a line waiting for them. So we get an initial shot on them. And that goes good for us. I got another line there backing up. My ally here is pushed up. He hasn't moved his rifles forward, so if he shoots, he's going to shoot himself in the back. Alright, this fight is going to start taking place here as well. He just got a pretty devastating shot on his rifle there, taking him down to 43. He hasn't really returned much damage to the person there. And you can see here this guy has got his longs in front of his lines doing damage to my ally. Alright, I am now thrusting one of my lines into the center line, and I am shooting these two flanks. So my guard is shooting the Maryland, this guard is shooting the Delaware, and my other line is in melee right here. They got a lot of light dragoons here coming through the valley, but luckily we got quite a bit of support. I'm bringing another line of support and a light dragoon, so we should do some pretty good damage versus that. As you can see here, we're breaking this on down in the center. Alright, Delaware goes home. This line infantry is about to follow, and is the Maryland. And up here they've finally broken this top. There's just one Marine of 42 left. So they should knock that out. And my ally on the top is now going to be able to start coming around on the flank. And there's really not much here to oppose this, though, frankly, because we've got him whittled down. He's running his grenadiers out of the fight. He's got a long of 24 still, but you can see this whole center is just broken wide open. And he is going to bring up two lines. He's got another New York and another line here that can reinforce, and obviously his light dragoons. So we'll see how that fight commences as we wrap up the remnants of this flanking force. He's got the grenadier trying to throw some grenades in, but I'm using my rifleman to shoot that grenadier down. Over here, my ally is continuing to take damage in the center versus the American player. And not still a whole lot happening down here. It's pretty quiet on the western front. Let's go back up the top. Most of the action is happening there. And as you can see, now all the American forces that were opposing us are either moving out or are dead, as there's just one line infantry that is running and one grenadier that made it out of that fight. He's still got a long rifle of 24, but you can see here my line infantry and my guards are starting to work down these units that have come in to replace the routing American forces. Now I'm going to bring my rifleman up since I have rifle superiority. Excuse me. Now he does a fairly decent move here. He brings the light dragoons in to melee with my guards. I do have light dragoons behind, so I am going to shoot them down, but I do take a little bit of damage on my guard doing so, but that at least gets him off my guard where my guard can get back after this line. I guess he saw that I was in melee with this line, so he was trying to flank it because he thought his goon would tie up my guards for a bit, but that just didn't happen, so now we're able to pummel that. My ally is now bringing the remnants of his forces and finishing up on this 47 line. It's now down to 42. I'm going to go ahead and go into melee to push this long rifle out, and I'm going to melee with my guards. I don't want to waste all my ammo. I know I can break them with the melee. So my... Oh, and it is grenadiers throwing grenades at my guards too. And hopefully I can get out of there before he throws the next grenade volley. He was a little slow on that. He probably could have got me. I am getting some shots on him with the rifles. Got him down to 43. Should break this line here with this line that I went into melee here. And I have forced this long out of the fight. My ally is coming up. And here the fight is still pretty stable. Not a whole lot happened. You can see there are not a whole lot of kills in here on the floor. Most of the fighting is taking place on our side. As you can see, the bodies littering the floor here, just everywhere. You can almost see where some of the lines were set up. It's kind of interesting. And now I did bring my line through the valley to flank them. And that routes out these units here, and they are gone. Route them out with 40 men on that one, 24 on the grenadier. So nice. That's what coming around behind them will do for you. All right. So now we have taken care of both the players on the top. I think he did get the long rifle back and maybe that 47 line. I don't know if he made it out. But my ally is going to start coming around over here on this side. And now we're starting to whittle down the center player on the bottom. And I'm going to bring one line over here. And the rest, I think I'm going to push the flank, if I remember right. My light dragoons, and I'm going to bring my general up. Forgot to bring my general with me. As you can see here, I am in melee with the Maryland. I was thinking that my Russian ally was going to push up. That's why I went into melee. But he stopped right here, which is unfortunate because I lose both of these lines. Even with the disruption I caused, we weren't able to take advantage of that. But that's how it is when you don't have communication. As you can see, I bring the remnants of my army over so I can knock these out. And you can see we're going up against another New York, another Delaware, and another Maryland. So that's our third set that I'm going to be facing against here. He's got long rifles on the hill. Now at this spot, I'm not going to be able to shoot him, but he's not going to be able to shoot me. So that's why I'm there, so I don't take any damage. And you can see here, he's got the light infantry now tearing down these lines. This puts the center player here in a really tough position. Alright, so I'm going to move my line infantry here to continue to force back this long rifle, and I'm going to bring my light dragoons around the flank and start forcing my guards up, as he has already volleyed with both of these lines. So he is in the process of reloading. I guess the Delaware is about to volley. Delaware does get shot on me. And this Marine, I didn't know that this Marine would get that clipping fire there, but apparently he did. With a little bit. He should still hit the hill with some of that, but now I've got my guards shooting, and I've got the rifles shooting over the heads of the guards. So we are in business now. Should start whittling these guys. We already got the New York down to 78. And here we're going to come in the back. I didn't see this. This is a bad mistake on my part. He was able to flank me with those two light dragoons there. I'm going to go into melee, and I'm going to take out that long rifle, and I'm in melee with the goon here. And I want to disrupt all of this. Because if I can disrupt that, my guards have taken some damage, but I can get the rest of my units in here, and hopefully my ally will come with me. and we can really knock out this whole flank here. And really at this point my ally should be really pushing hard, because he's got a portion of his army, 3 of his best line units here, and his cav facing me. This is the perfect opportunity to start pushing him back, but he's just holding the line. I think he's pretty confident we're going to win this fight. And finally I do break through the cav into the back of these New York and Delaware, so I'm going to now be able to force up my guards. Now the big key is I want to make sure I get this Marine in melee so he's not able to volley. That way I can get this guard shooting down that Marine. And this gives me the opportunity, as you can see, I moved up the rest of my line and my rifles so we can really take the fight to him. And now I've got my guards working on this Marine after he gets loaded, I guess. I am going to lose my light dragoons here. The other one is still in it, but I have forced him to collapse, and the New York and the Delaware are pretty much gone. And all he's got is the 2 light dragoons here to hold me back. As you can see, I got 2 line that are fairly good strength, although I'm getting shot in the back by the Cossack. And I've still got 1 light dragoon here left to support. And now I've got my guards ripping into the back of the New York. Still, it's a stalemate here. Still not much action happening here. So this is going to be a good kill game for me. I like that. I like action. Alright, here goes the guards. Alright, they're running out of my range, so I got to keep pushing forward. And now at this point, I'm able to take the woodland from them, and I can collapse down this flank, collapse on this. That really gives us an advantage. Now I did get 1 of the light dragoons back, so that's good news. And I am going to bring up my other line infantry and my general. Where's my other line infantry? Oh, here he is. Got 119 in that guy. He's barely 5. Alright, so here we go. We got the guards in the woods, piping down some fire, versus this Marine and this New York. The New York is going to bite the dust. It's down to 21, and he routes off. So now he's just got the 2 light dragoons and this Marine to hold me back. My 1 guard is down to 33, the other's at 69. So we'll win that fight. He's shooting at my rifles, which is good for me because my rifles are already depleted in ammo at this point. So here, he's just getting whittled down. He's down to 45 Marines now. He did a good job, though, folding all these units that he was reinforcing here. And you can see he's only got 2 line infantry and a couple of units in the woods versus all this. I mean, you could damn near go into the melee and break him. He's already got this line down to 41. This is the time you need to get after it. We've already got this flank broken. So now we're going to have to start pushing out here because we're weak on this. We do have rifle superiority here. Whoa, thought I was going to drop there, but luckily I didn't. I am bringing a line out here to reinforce. And you can see here, I am going to continue to push on this. My ally's got this. He should be pushing in here in just a minute to help come up with me. We got the long rifles opposed to me. I'm going to continue to try to force them back. I do still have 1 rifleman with 22 men, but at this point, it's whatever. I'm glad he's shooting my riflemen and not my guards. Again, that is a definite help to me as my ally is going to start walking forward. He is actually getting into a fight in the woods here, which is good. So he can clear out this woodland, and you can see the fight here actually did commence. I missed that. Looks like it was pretty good fight here on the flank, as they are starting to rout out USA here. So yeah, it looks like they're almost broke here. So this fight really did intensify as they got into the woodland. But I don't know if it was this ally that brought some of these lines over, which could be. But you can see here that my guards are now in melee with this. You got to get in here. I've got him disrupted here. He's got a line of 108 disrupted, so you got all these units that can take on this 116 and this long rifle. And I'm not going to be able to hold out much longer versus a goon, a militia line, another line, another goon. But we're doing what we can. Still, not in range. You got to push in range. You got an advantage here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Right in this area. You can push up. That gives you flanking shots in the woods. And it gives you obvious advantage there. And we have broken this portion, so I did move my guards in past them into the woods. I'm gonna try and come back and shoot him in the back. He is coming up. Just needs to get a little closer. I think he might be in range. Yeah, he is in range now, so that's good. I'm gonna take on a volley from all these light dragoons, so I'm gonna lose that guard. But I've got my full strength line. I moved it from it was out here. I wrapped it, moved it in here. I still have my light dragoons and one general. And you're going to see what we're going to do here. So we're going to have a flanking shot. This is how you get in close. When you have a numbers advantage, you can have 2 back that are taking the volleys. And then you can move the others in close. It gets you better accuracy. It gets you more kills. Loving it. Loving it. Got him down to 54. Now it's time to really pour it in on them. As you can see here, now we have really taken advantage over here. Got my goons hitting them in the back. I did a cav charge, I think, on this side. Got them whittled down there. Okay, my rifles are going to do some flanking shots on this guy. As is that line. And now this guy is pushed completely out of the woods. You got to keep pushing though, because he's going to be able to. If you don't keep the pressure, what happens is this player is going to be able to come over and reinforce against this player, because you're keeping these units out of the fight. That's why you got to keep pressure up at all times when you have somebody retreating. Constant pressure is the key. Pressure breaks the pipe, my friends. Pressure breaks the pipe. So here I'm going to keep that pressure going, launching my general into a melee charge. And again, here we go. You got to keep that pressure on. Keep that pressure. Keep that pressure. We could have them completely condensed at this point. You got units back here chilling like a villain. Got to get them in the fight. Got to get them in the fight. Yes, indeed. You can see all my units are depleted because I've been constantly in the fight. Constantly in the fight. Got to keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. All right, so now they got the pushing mentality down. All right, so let's see what happens. So they got the guards they're going up against. It's a disadvantage. 2 guards. But you got a lot of units. That's why you got to wrap them like he's trying to do. So he's got the numbers advantage because the guard can only shoot at 1 unit at a time. But they will rip you down fast. So you got to get all these lines volleying into that guard. To hell with the Minutemen. Push up as close as you can to where you can volley into the guard. Through the militia. Or Minutemen, whatever it is. You can see here. I got my line up. I'm going to get some flanking shots on him. I got my rifles here to keep the goons back. But you can see what I'm talking about. This player is able to reinforce versus this side and fight this side if you don't keep the pressure up, because they got a range advantage with the long rifles. So if you don't keep pressure and keep in his face, he can shoot there, roll him, shoot over here. Even though this is decided, but this is how you can lose a game you're winning. So we got units here not in a fight. You gotta send everything in. You gotta have the killer instinct. The killer instinct wins the day. Alright. So here you can see I'm already in the back of him. You gotta keep pushing. Gotta keep pushing. You're only facing the general's bodyguard. Alright. Here we go. I'm in the melee here. Killing them off. My ally, I think, is in melee with me. Nope. I'm in melee on these 2 units in the back of the guards. That should keep them from fighting. And I'm over here pushing the long rifles, and I'm going to use my light dragoons to charge them down. That's going to break those guys. And then one of my allies, light dragoons, are going to hit these in the back. And that's going to pretty much do it, folks. This one is going to be a done deal. Because this guard is by himself in square. And he ain't going to last long in that shape. Surrounded on all sides. Let's speed this one up. This is a good game to our opponents. Good game by my allies. Well fought indeed. And there goes the last unit. Alright, so here's the score. Told you I had to have a lot of kills. Woo-hoo. 2205. Lost 1634. And my allies, 1048. 1460. And 1047 here. And I think this guy here, just to let you know, Mehmet, I think he has very few hours in the game. I think he's only got like maybe only, I think it was like 40 or 50 hours in the game. I know it was under 100, so pretty well fought for being a really new player. And King Minecraft, who has also a YouTube channel, he was down here. He was one of the USA on the bottom. He got 1,020 kills. Hockey was the other player on the bottom. He got 1612. And then the two players on the top that we faced off against, 800 and 969. So that's the results. And I appreciate you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button. You know the drill. Everybody says it. Got to subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Appreciate you guys once again. We'll see you on the next video. And I'm going to continue on with this tournament because I think it went pretty well. It was a lot of fun. So we'll set that up. I'll have a video up this week talking about that and what the schedule is going to look like and a little bit more explanation. So appreciate you guys again. We'll see you on the next video.